Hey folks, Roland Martin here, broadcasting live from Chicago, site of the Blueprint Summit, a conference for black men. It is Friday, October 9th, 18th, 2019. Let's go.
Whatever the biz, he's on it. Whatever it is, he's got the scoop, the fact, the find. And when it breaks, he's right on time, and it's rolling. Best believe he's knowing. Putting it down from sports to news to politics. With entertainment just for kicks, he's rolling. It's on go, go, roll, y'all. It's Roland Martin, yeah. Rolling with
All right, folks, welcome back to the Blueprint Men's Summit here in Chicago. Louis Carr, longtime advertising executive, puts on this men's conference. Their theme is From the Block to the Boardroom. And joining me right now is one of the speakers, Chef Jeff Henderson. Glad to have you here. Roland Unfiltered. What's up, man?
Thanks for having me, Roland.
All right, then. So, first and foremost, you do lots of events, lots of conferences, all this sort of good stuff.
Yes.
What makes this men's summit different from others that you do?
Yeah, I think what makes a difference is the fact that it's a fellowship of black men who are successful, that sharing success strategies. And everyone here is almost like a brand evangelist who leave this conference to go back in their prospective communities to help create blueprints, to help brothers stay out of the system, people find jobs, create those opportunities, and get those second chances.
You talk about staying out of the system. I mean, you often talk about your history, the time you spent in prison, what you were going through. Take folks through who don't know your story, how you were able to go to make that turn and then correct the path.
Yeah. Well, you know, I've been out of prison now 23 years. I went to prison back in 1987. During the crack cocaine era. I was selling drugs since I was like 17 years old. I got indicted by the feds, went to prison. I was in federal prison when it was called Club Fed. I was in prison with Ivan Boesky, co-defendant Michael Milken, you know, federal judges, Wall Street guys. And when I was in there, I took business and marketing classes. Wall Street guys ran these business classes. They had a Toastmasters, a mastermind. And one of the multimillionaire Wall Street guys told me when he heard me speak at Toastmasters, he said, Jeff, when you was on the street selling drugs, you understood marketing, branding, bottom line, profit and loss. He says, all you got to do is change the product. So I'd never heard those words, just connected the dots. So I built relationships with these guys, got fired on my job. They put me in the kitchen on pot and pan detail. Never knew I had a talent for cooking. Eventually became the head inmate cook. Then I got out of prison in 1997, and a chef in Beverly Hills gave me a job washing dishes. And the rest is history. I worked my way all the way up to becoming the first African-American executive chef running restaurants at Caesars and Bellagio in Las Vegas.
So I want to start with first what you just said in terms of what that guy told you about the knowledge and expertise you had. I remember it was in the 80s. In fact, it was in the 80s. My dad watched 5 hours of news a day. We always watch ABC. So I remember it was a story on ABC World News Tonight, and they had arrested a major drug dealer in Washington, D.C. And I remember the story vividly because they detail the brilliance of this brother, how he structured his drug enterprise. And I remember the reporter saying and the prosecutor saying that this guy essentially was running a Fortune 500 company. And just what you described, they talked about all, and I'll never forget that story. So how do we get young brothers and sisters to understand that you have it, but one is legal,
yes,
and the other can earn you billions with hedge funds or whatever,
and it's killing our people. My thing is I tell guys who come from that life, is that we got to show them where the money is. We got to show them how to hustle legit, get them access. Many of us who come from poverty in the neighborhood, we learn how to negotiate early, those survival traits. We know how to make something out of nothing. And through my era, I'm 55, Roland. In my era, in 1982, I remember vividly, crack cocaine that showed up in the neighborhood. This boom showed up. Somebody came up with an idea to make cocaine affordable to every American with that cheaper version. I was a newspaper boy. I was a candy seller. I had a lawnmower in junior high school.
So you were doing entrepreneurial things.
Yes. Yes.
But all of a sudden, this comes along, a lot more money, a lot faster.
Yes, but not realizing the impact that crack had on mass incarceration. 1 out of 4 black males between 17 and 29 in prison. We didn't understand that. It wasn't until we got to prison. And I think for me, I've always had an entrepreneurial drive and an entrepreneurial spirit. I just needed somebody to pull my coattail to say, take these skill sets and do something else. So food became my new hustle. Like rap became Jay-Z's new crack. Food became my new crack. You know, so it's like, how do we take the natural skill sets in these guys and gals and say, let's channel that somewhere else legitimately, and you could be a baller, you could be successful, you could live the American dream doing it the right way.
Now I want to go to the next one. He gave you a job washing dishes.
Yes.
I remember, so my brother had catering business. One of my sisters was married to, was in a gang, selling drugs. My brother offered him a job as a dishwasher. He was offended. He was pissed off. He was more concerned about his cornrows.
Sure about his cornrows.
And I'm sitting here going, and I've heard other people talk about that. I ain't washing dishes. But first of all, washing dishes, that's the entree
yes.
to the kitchen.
Yes.
It doesn't mean you're going to always be washing dishes.
Yes. If you got a dishwashing mindset, that's where you're going to stay. Sometimes we got to take the lesser job to get the better job later. So that was an entree for me. I went from washing dishes to prep cook to cook, eventually sous chef, and that's how I was able to wind up become an executive chef. Sometimes we got to take those less jobs, especially having a criminal record, no experience, prison GED. Sometimes that's where we have to start. And it's funny you mention it because the man who gave me my first job out of prison 23 years ago, he's here.
Wow.
Yes. Chef. It's Robert Gatsby right here who hired me 23 years ago out of prison.
Very well, thank you.
You hired him. What did you see?
What did I see? I saw someone that was desperately wanting to change his life. So I said, well, just give him a chance.
And when you say give him a chance, we were just talking about he started off washing dishes.
Yes.
Was that a test?
Well, first of all, you have to start from the bottom and work your way up. First of all, the early stages is you have the first part is your discipline. The first discipline is, can you wash dishes? Are you a patient? Do you have attention to detail? Are you clean and you organized? And the most important person in the kitchen is the dishwasher, not the cooks. Without this equipment, your knives, forks, spoons, the china, the tabletop presentation, if you don't have them, you don't have anything.
But you got a lot of people, though, who get offended with starting other dishes.
Well, you have to understand. At the end of the night, you turn to the chef, to the dishwasher, and say, did we have a good evening? He'll say yes or no. If there's so much food coming back that's in the garbage, that means you're not doing a good job. But if he says yes, then he doesn't have to lie, because the garbage says it all. If the garbage is barely empty because there's only garnishes, there's no real food other than bones, he's done a good job. And he knows better than anyone else. So the customer doesn't have to say, yes, we had a great time. If the food comes back, they couldn't have had a great time. Because if you enjoy the food that much, there will be nothing left on your plate.
So you see him now. You proud?
Oh, absolutely, I'm proud.
All right, then. I appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks so much.
Pleasure.
Chef, you take your story across the country. You talk to various people. How many young cats have you had who get it, who hear you and go, that makes sense?
Quite a few. You know, my story is highly respected. My come up, my success in prisons all across this country. Every month, I'm in federal, state, juvenile prisons. So when I go into these prisons, I talk about the decriminalization of the mindset. And how that begins is figuring out what your gift is, what your self-worth is. So a lot of cats who was making big money on the streets, I say you got two choices. You got this world, the criminal world, that's going to give you instant hood wealth. Then you got this other world over here where you got to play the long game. But guess what? The consequences and the payoff is not prison or not death. When you walk on concrete every day, when you're sitting on a stainless steel toilet, strip searches, be dehumanized, humiliated throughout your prison, I say, who wants to live like this? You know, you got a choice to make. And once I figured out how to take the transferable skills that I used to become a millionaire at 19, what are those skills I could take the criminal element out? Selling, marketing, relationship building, this is my costume, clean shaven, got my grill fixed, took makeup, covered my earring hole up, manicured hands. I learned from this man. I watched how he walked, how he talked, his language. I watched him build relationships and communicate with people who didn't look like us. So I always had gift of gab. I always was able to move through different gang neighborhoods, Crips, Bloods, Mexicans, white guys. So if I can do it on the streets, I can do it in the corporate world. And so I just took those skill sets that were transferable and utilized them.
I do not want to diminish the skill set of culinary arts. But I think you understand my point here. First of all, my grandmother catering business.
Yes.
My dad was a chef in the family. My brother's an executive chef. So been around food my whole life.
Yes.
But the reason I'm saying that is because there's a brother or sister out there who says, I'm not fit for Ivy League. I'm not fit for the Howard. I'm not fit for a 4-year college. But I explain to them, but you can cook. We gonna always eat.
Yes.
And there are different types of chefs.
Yes.
They run the gamut for all
Yeah.
over, and it is an opportunity for somebody to actually have a career, take care of their family, and build their family. I think for a lot of times, a lot of us get caught up in thinking, I'm not smart enough for a doctor or a lawyer, but you cook for doctors and lawyers.
Yes.
Who pay you well.
Yes. Yes.
And so how do we get that through to people to also understand that?
Well, I think that if you have the gift of cooking, and like you said, there's different elements of culinary arts. You got high-end, low-end, hospital cooking, institutional cooking. You got catering.
It's food.
It's food.
Well, I tell everybody, it's food everywhere.
Yes. And it's one of the...
somebody got to cook it.
Exactly.
And it ain't going to come from China.
Yeah, and no artificial intelligence is going to cook the food because it can't taste it.
If you want some ribs, it's not going to be shipped from Thailand. Somebody got to be on that grill.
Exactly. So the food industry is one of the few industries that door is wide open for returning citizens. And the reason why is you usually come in through the back door, you go home through the back door. You don't even see the customer. You have no access to credit cards. It's tough grind work. So this is why this industry is big, and it was wide open for me. But for me now, as a chef who have reached the Bellagio, Caesars, Ritz-Carlton, now it's like, how can I create other opportunities for returning citizens? So I recently launched Alternative Labor Solutions. So I'm working with companies now to help them identify, recruit, develop for long-term retention, returning citizens coming out of the system. Because now companies have no choice but to look at the 700,000 people who get released from prison every single year. They could no longer exclusively depend on immigrant and non-felon labor anymore. They have no choice but to say, shit, how do we deal with them? I don't know how to talk to them. We're a little nervous. That's where I come in. And I come in and say, look, here's the best practices. What formerly incarcerated citizens will you hire? Which ones you won't? And then I put together a best practice list for them to go ahead and hire these people and get them in the systems.
All right. How can folks follow you?
Chef Jeff Live on Instagram and Twitter, and my website is chefjefflive.com.
All right. Chef, we appreciate it, man.
My man.
You cooking tomorrow, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, then. What are we eating?
Maple braised beef short ribs.
All right.
Yes.
I'm ready.
All right.
All right. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Roland. Thank you, sir.
I got to get you in the kitchen with my brother.
Yes.
Now, where are you based?
Vegas.
Okay.
And when you come out there, I got you. I want to cook. Bring you to my house.
I'm going to make sure I'm going to get your number, and we'll do it.
I'll pass it to your folks.
All right.
My
I
man.
appreciate
Thank you,
it.
brother.
All right, folks. Got to go to a break. We come back. More from Blueprint Men's Summit. Back in a moment from Chicago. All right, I appreciate it. Thanks so much. Remember, I can give you this here. Yeah, my pounds tomorrow. I think we're on 1. I'm after lunch.
Every dollar that you give to
There you go.
us supports
Where
our
is-
daily digital show. Only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. As Roland Martin.
Where's the brother who's a comedian? He just walked by. You know what I'm talking about?
By going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com.
Play Maxine next. All right, y'all. So you came back to me here. So Maxine Waters, we were at the Spirit Democracy Awards, and of course we live streamed that. And so she had some nice things to say about Roland Martin Unfiltered. We want to go ahead and play that for you.
You have stood the test of time. You have no fear. You have courage. You're brilliant. And you have shown up everywhere that you needed to be. I appreciate your voice. You're our talking drum. Give him a big round of applause.
Appreciate it. Well, we certainly appreciate those kind words from Congresswoman Maxine Waters. Thank you so very much. Again, folks, we are here at Louis Carr's Blueprint Men Summit here in Chicago at the W Hotel. And so a lot of different folks have been coming through here. Earlier today, New York Knicks, former New York Knicks star Allen Houston presented about his mentor program. Will Packer, my alpha brother, of course, Uber Hollywood producer, television producer as well. He held a panel here talking about the images of black men. Judge Greg Mathis, he also is one of the speakers. I'm looking down the hallway for some of the other folks who are here. So like I say, Judge Mathis, tomorrow Hill Harper is going to be joining us, and so we're looking forward to Hill as well. I'm going to be doing a session talking about voting, and so we got some other guests who are about to come on down, and so we're looking for them to make their way down here. What you're seeing right now, go back to the other shot there, Henry. What you're seeing there is the car lounge, and so what you have going on in that room there, you have brothers who are getting haircuts in there. You got a DJ in there. They got food. That's sort of the hangout area. Henry, go back to that shot of the lounge. People see. And so what you got here is you got the lounge area going on here. Again, you got folks there who can actually mix. You've got of course, where the sessions are taking place. Some 400 folks have registered, 400 brothers. And there's all brothers here. You see, they got the basketball hoop in there. There's also a golf putty green is in the lounge as well. Some 400 brothers are here for this summit. And then what you also have going on, 100 young boys are going to be here tomorrow. They're going to be here tomorrow. And so, first of all, Louis Carr, of course, who has put this on. We're waiting for him to make his way down here. His session, I believe, is almost ending. And so there are so many different people who are here. Again, and I'll tell you what was great. I mean, y'all saw me talk at the Alpha Convention when I was in Las Vegas. More than 1,000 black men who were there. When you hear people say, in terms of where all the brothers are, trust me, you got brothers who are doing some great things. And so there are brothers who are doing great things all across this country. And it was important for us to show you this so you can actually see for yourself. I mean, that's what was critically important. I think all too often, what happens is we hear these stories about black men not doing this, black men not doing that. But the reality is you have some brothers who are doing some amazing things. Sessions on health, sessions on wellness, sessions on motivation. And so it really has been solid. We came today, even though my session is tomorrow. We got some interviews that we'll be doing. Also, there's a young brother. I'm going to be interviewing him tomorrow. He is a coder. He is a coder. This brother here is about 14, 15 years old. And so we'll be sitting down chatting with him as well. And also tomorrow, Orlando Pace, Joe Dumars, former, first of all, Hall of Famer, former exec with the Detroit Pistons. He's going to be here. Orlando Pace, like I said, also Richard Dent, another Hall of Famer. They're going to be talking about sports and activism. And so just an amazing lineup of folks covering 2 days here in Chicago. And so in just a moment, we'll be chatting with more of the folks here. So I'm waiting for them to make their way down here to have a conversation with us. Also, one of the things that we want to reiterate to all of you, earlier in the show, we talked about Congressman Elijah Cummings. He's going to be lying in state in the National Statuary Hall next Thursday, all day on Thursday. Then on Friday, there'll be a public viewing for him, 8 a.m., at New Psalmers at his church in Baltimore. The funeral will take place at 10 p.m. So those of you who missed that earlier, the funeral arrangements for Congressman Cummings, they have been released. And so we certainly will be covering that story next week as well. And so as we wait for our next guest, Henry, let me know in terms of who's coming down and when they're coming down. I want to be able to to chat with them. It was great talking with Chef Jeff Henderson, talking about, of course, what he is doing on the culinary art side. Again, Heron's going to take another shot in the room there, of course, where the brothers are in the lounge there. What you'll also see, you'll see some of the folks who are bringing food on by as they are like all kinds of things that happen. So this is the welcome and reception sort of time that's taking place as we speak. Also, Dougie Fresh is here, and he is on his way. And so certainly looking forward to chatting with him. He'll be providing entertainment for the brothers here. And so, Dougie, can't wait till he get on down here. As y'all know, I am, and trust me, y'all might think I'm lying. Dougie Fresh is going to confirm it for you. I am Dougie Fresh's official hype man. Okay, if y'all think I'm joking, y'all about to learn something when he comes down here for our conversation, because trust me, I have gotten the party started on many occasions, gotten them hyped for my man Dougie. Now look, I ain't getting on the microphone and doing the beatbox, but I'm telling you right now, I will get the party started. And so here we go. And so right now joining us, of course, is the founder of the Blueprint Men's Summit, Louis Carr. He's making his way over here. And so we'll chat with Louis in just a second. And so step on in. Y'all see we got the velvet rope here. It's sort of like a club. Everybody can't get in here. And so that's why we got the velvet rope. And so, you know what's real funny? I'm telling y'all, this is just a true story. We do this all the time. Black people do not care if you are in a live broadcast. Black folks we'll be sitting here, I'll be interviewing somebody, and they will walk up, want a selfie. They'll be yelling, Roland, tapping you on the shoulder. And I got to remind them, y'all, I'm actually working. And so it always happens. And so it's crazy when I got to tell, like, one brother, we were sitting here live, he walked in, Roland, how you doing? I was kind of like, bro, we on the air right now. So then he had to step back. And so, but it's all good. It's always good to show some love, get the love from our family here. All right, joining us right now is Louis Carr, man behind this conference. What's up, Doc?
Thank you.
How's it going? Got to grab the microphone, Louis? So y'all can tell Louis on the sales side of media. So he ain't using this side. Got to grab the mic.
Look, Roland, there's so much going on behind me, and I'm doing so much now.
That don't even see it don't even affect me.
I know.
Like I hear it. They right there.
When we were planning this setup, I said, does Roland know how many people are going to be passing here?
Unfazed.
You're a true professional.
We've done it with thousands. They don't know things. That's right. They could be standing right there calling my name. They don't even exist.
I just appreciate you being here. Looking forward to tomorrow. Thank you so much. Your presence, your energy has made already an impact on the Blueprint Men's Summit.
I appreciate it. First of all, how many years is this?
This is year 3.
Year 3. Why did you start it?
I started it when I did my book tour. After every stop, Roland, there were men waiting in the halls, waiting outside for me, who wanted to ask me questions that they didn't want to ask in an open room. So whether it was, how you been married for 3 decades, how did you do that? Or how do you travel 250 nights a year? So I wanted to provide a safe environment where men could come and really be vulnerable from time to time and ask questions that they might not want to ask in the public.
Also, I think, and I've talked about this a whole lot as well, women, but especially black women, they meet.
Yes.
They go to conferences, and they have real conferences.
And they have missions.
And
they're on a mission.
It's not games. It's not all about having fun. Because I'll be honest with you, that one of my, and I got no issues with the lounge, but one of my issues when I see lots of men's events, it's more games than it is business. And I say to brothers, if you go home the same way you left home, it's going to be some pissed off folk who sent you there.
Well, I want to congratulate these brothers today. They were in sessions at 9 o'clock, and we just got out at 6:20. And I cut out a lot of breaks I had scheduled for them because I wanted them to be A students. And they really showed up, and I'm very, very proud of their commitment to the information and to the things they were getting from the stage today. So I'm very proud of them.
And the reason I think that's important because, again, we have to experience, first of all, we have to have a place where we can go to and get fed.
Yes.
And learn. And, yes, ask those questions. That's also a place that's
for us, by us.
Yes. So very, very excited about that. I mean, we had a lot of brothers today that came to the stage. Will Packer, as you know, was here, and he did a tremendous job on really creating an opportunity for brothers to find their own blueprint. Joe Holder from GQ magazine was here talking about nutrition and fitness. Charles Jenkins, Pastor Charles Jenkins, and Pastor Reginald Sharp just got off the stage. Really, really, really inspiring brothers with the secret to survival.
When you have traveled, you talked about on being on the book tour and hearing from these brothers. When you travel, is it tough to look at some of these brothers who you know are hurting, who you know might be going through divorces or relationship issues, might be going through stuff on the job, and they say, I have no outlet, or I haven't connected with somebody who will understand what I'm going through? So has this also created the networking opportunity where the relationships have continued after the summit's over?
Absolutely. One of the things, the primary summit mission is to provide knowledge, solutions, and relationships, not with just people on the stage, but people in the audience, because there's so many people in the audience that can give insight and give instructions to so many different things. So this is not just about the people on the stage, but it's also not just about the men who are here. We want them to take this information back to their families and their communities with a spirit of vision and growth so that we all can get better.
I want to talk a little business. You've been in sales for how long?
I have been in sales for about 38 years. I've been at BET for 33 years.
So I was in the car today, and don't ask me why it popped into my head. And I was just in the car, and I went, what happened to the Madison Avenue project? I was reading some story. As I'm reading, and I pull up on Google, whatever. And the reason I bring that up is because I have been trying to sound the alarm that those of us in black media, are facing a perilous future. What used to be multicultural is now mainstream. You see black ad agencies withering on the vine because the larger agencies are basically taking all of the dollars. And unfortunately, in so many of those agencies, there's still a very few folks who look like us. And so what happened to the Madison Avenue project? Art, do you believe that we are getting our fair share? And what needs to happen? Because where we're going, 2043 will be a nation majority people of color. And my fear is that we will be frozen out of the dollars. We will have demographic numbers, but be frozen out and not be able to control our own narrative, our destiny.
Well, one of the things that I've consistently done, and I think has given me this long tension of business, is reinvent. So reinvent our strategies, reinvent our products, reinvent ourselves in the way we approach the overall business. So reinvention is one of the key things. I think the other thing is we continue to have to be courageous. I mean, we can't just take not getting our dollars. Sometimes we got to push to get our dollars. And I think I've sort of made a reputation of that in the business, that I'm not going to just let other people come in and sort of pimp our culture, where we were creators of that culture. So I think that a lot of our media companies have to become more courageous and more intentional about their success. I just had a sales conference, and the theme of the sales conference was intentional success. And tomorrow we're going to have one of our key speakers at our sales conference, Rick Grigsby, come and talk about intentional success and the role of black men in our communities today. But back to the media, I think we have to understand social media more.
Of course.
Clearly, you get it. We dominate social media. We dominate linear. We dominate digital. Let's not act like we don't.
Right.
Let's let people know, and let's be forceful and intentional about it.
One of the things that is a concern of mine is the dearth of news and information. And when it comes to comedies, when it comes to award shows, when it comes to reality television, my fear is that, just like with food deserts, I believe we have news deserts. And I think that we're laughing ourselves to death, and folks go all the time, man, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Man, I I had no idea. And I've been challenging black media on that front because if we are not framing it from our perspective,
right,
through our prism, then who will? And I just don't, I'm afraid that we're going to be asking somebody else, please, please, can you tell our story? And to me, that's dangerous for a black community.
Well, to that point, that's why it was so important for me to have you here. We're going to talk about the upcoming 2020 election tomorrow. And as I told you on the phone, I want you to educate these men on the top concerns that we should know about as we go into the election, as we evaluate candidates, if we talk about issues, as we educate our families and our communities. We've got a year to really be knowledgeable about what's at stake.
Not even a year. The primaries start in February.
Yeah.
In February.
Yeah.
We got less than 6 months.
So you're going to let us know all of that tomorrow? I'm so excited about it.
Well, I'm looking forward to it as well. Glad to be here. It's great for the energy in here. I was just saying, being an alpha, I know you belong in that little junior organization, that little youth group. What's that group?
I don't belong to any of them.
Oh, you're not a Kappa?
No.
Oh, somebody told me you were a Kappa. That's good then. Somebody told me you were a Kappa. Well, praise the Lord. See, I'm good then. And that's that GQ speaker you had today. He a little Kappa.
Yeah, he hollered out.
Good. See, good. Because I thought I was going to have to cut you tomorrow.
No. I'm good. I got love for everybody.
Well, I got love for them too. Well, I like them. Well, Lord, glad to be here. Looking forward to it. But again, I think the energy is great. And again, I think it's important for people, especially other brothers, when you're in this midst, just like when I go to the Alpha Convention, it's just a whole different feeling when you're surrounded by black men. It's black love, it's no drama, and it's all about purpose.
I appreciate, and I can't wait till tomorrow. Light them up, baby.
Always.
Light them up.
You know that's going to happen. I appreciate it, Louis. Thanks a bunch.
Thank you, Roland.
Got to go to a break, y'all. When we come back, more from Blueprint Men's Summit. And so, where Dougie Fresh? He's supposed to be down here. I want to be able to holler at him before we get off the air. You're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered. Back in a moment. Fan Club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. Only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. All right, folks, we are back. Blueprint Men's Summit here in Chicago. Great conversation we had there with Louis Carr. And like I say, the sessions are out. Cats are all around here. They got drink, they got hors d'oeuvres, they got food, you got networking going on. All those things are happening. Like I said, lots of energy, lots of conversation, lots of excitement. The lounge is next door. You got brothers in there getting haircuts. They, of course, and matter of fact, let me tell y'all, so the vendors that you can't see them, and so, matter of fact, we're going to get this device that allow us to have a roaming camera, because I want to be able to y'all see some stuff. So, all the way down this hall, and then on the other side over there, they've got vendors doing manicures. They got brothers, I think they got some brothers over there getting some facials over there. They got brothers over there who got a hair care products. Bevel is one of their sponsors, and they're talking about grooming as well. And so this is a true men's summit. And so they, okay, they walk around with food. What's that?
Chicken, my friend, with a little bit salsa and plantain.
Is what?
Chicken.
Chicken, little salsa?
Salsa and a little bit spicy.
All right, then. Okay, I'm good. I'm going to try one when I get done off the air. All right, then. So, again, all that happening, of course, sessions, as Louis said, started at 9 o'clock this morning. And so we'll be up again tomorrow at 9 o'clock as well. And so it's going to be quite the busy day here from Chicago. And so
Looking forward to it. Busy day in the Windy City. Thank God it's not cold or freezing. I'm trying to see. So Anthony went down to see if he can grab Dougie Fresh to make his way down here. If not, we'll end up doing an interview with Dougie Fresh tomorrow. And so it has been, like I said, good time here. Great sessions, great panels. But I do want to speak on something that I told Lewis there as well, and that is this here. And this is specifically for black men. We have to be willing to meet and connect with other black men in spaces like this. We have to be willing to have the type of conversations that are affirming, that are empowering, and we can learn from and be educated. I see it all the time. All the things these sisters are doing across the country, where they are meeting and where they are planning and networking. And too many brothers not doing that. And so that's critically important. So that's vital for all of us. So that's why we are here. All right, y'all, joining us right now is somebody who is not unfamiliar at all with the microphone. He is Doug E. Fresh. What's up, my man?
My man here, boy, y'all don't know how hard he gets down. Let me just put that out there off the top.
I was just saying this. So I was somewhere, and they said, oh, Doug is gonna be here. I said, all right. I said, I'm Doug's hype man. They were like, man, sit down. I said, I'm telling y'all. I
you
said,
gotta let them know.
And they think I be messing around like, oh man, I said, I'm telling y'all.
Man, look. I sent out an email. I sent out memos, bro. I mean, I'm on the shows. I'm like, look, if Roland come up in here, you know where he coming and you know what we gonna do, right? Yeah. We done had so many shows like that, boy.
So check this out. We were at the Hamilton. You were at the Hamilton in D.C. It was CBC. Coca-Cola sponsored this party, and so Henry, who does my production manager. I see him the next day. He's like, dude, man, why you ain't tell me you on stage with Dougie? People were texting me, talking about, man, your boy Roland's out here dancing and hyping the crowd up with Dougie. He's like, what were you doing? And then, what was it? It was Steve Harvey's Neighborhood Awards.
Right.
Dude, we got there. We got to Atlanta like at 5. He's like, how we laying in Atlanta at 5? And at 7 o'clock, I'm standing on stage shooting yo behind dancing next to Dougie.
I love it. See, and this is what I like so much about it, is because you go so hard when you do what you do, that I like when people see that, yo, not only do I go hard here, I go hard over there.
Absolutely. Oh, I tell them. I ain't sitting. I don't understand. Like, I'm bothered by people who don't dance. It drives me crazy.
It's crazy,
they stand around. I'm like, my legs work, my knees work, my hips work. I'm going to use them.
Look,
I ain't afraid to sweat.
Hey, look. And we put it in. I know, look, I'm telling you, every time you come up, man, I'm so happy. I've been enjoying your company. And, you know, we've been friends a long time, so I keep it 100 with you. Bruh, you definitely bring a contribution to the game. When you come up there, I'll be like, okay, now it's kind of like damn near like a thermometer, like, okay, so it's getting hot.
Oh, yeah.
Roland is up here. So
well, this was at the NAACP. So let me tell you what happened at NAACP in Detroit. The DJ was Right. So I said, what time is Dougie coming out? They said Dougie coming out by 11:15.
They were trying to hold me.
So I went on stage. I was like, I need you to play this.
Right.
It was about an hour before Dougie came out.
They told me you
Dude,
did that.
I was like, I'm sitting there, I'm like, this room ain't,
Ain't that crazy?
It ain't. And so I went up there, and so by the time you came out, the room was lit.
Yeah, I think you said something to me. Yo, I got this right for you.
I said, they primed him. They primed him. I was like, you can do your thing now.
Yo, it's so crazy, man. And it's so crazy that nobody, like, it's to the point that, like, at first nobody would believe that we was rolling like this. And then all of a sudden, now when I come in the spot, they're like, yo, your man Roland is in here, man. He's right over there, man.
And I got mad at the Image Awards. Okay, let me tell you what happened. True story. This year, the Image Awards. So they had this outdoor party. Problem was, I had to leave.
Right.
I had a speech.
The one in L.A.
In L.A. Man,
Right.
so I go to the party. Y'all, I was only at the party for 30 minutes because I had to go catch a flight because I don't pass up money.
You can't.
So, man, I was like, Doug get on stage, and he see me like, Ro, you know where you're supposed to be? And I was like, man, I got to go get in the car and go to the airport. I said, if I get on that stage, I'm going to miss this flight.
Right.
And I was hot.
Look, B, look, I'm trying to tell you, man, we got this automatic connection thing. And like, look, I didn't even know you was gonna be out here. And lucky, and I got a show tomorrow in LA. I got to do Taste the Soul.
Yeah, I know.
If I didn't, we would have turned this.
But of course, let's talk about, let's talk about the fact that you've been doing this how long?
Man, it's I'd have to say genuinely since '81, because Harlem World was an actual place in Harlem where all of the artists got to perform. So my first show that I've ever done was at Harlem World. They spelt my name on the flyer wrong. So, it's kind of like asking, when did you first do this? But you finding a gauge on when was the first time that it really hit you.
Right.
So I say 81 because it was Harlem World, and that was big time for me. I was like 13, 14 years old.
To me, I think what's awesome is that, and again, my vantage point is different because I've been on the stage.
Right.
The audience still loves old school and to get it in.
Right.
And for you, it's about the party.
That's it.
It's about them. I can't stand DJs and artists who want them to come see them. No.
Right.
To me, it's a two-way street. It's what you give it that's hitting the crowd, with the crowd reverberates back, and then it goes back and it comes back, and as that thing just gets higher and higher.
Right, but that's the only way that it does get higher and higher. Any other way it doesn't, because it's all about taking. You're not giving anything. And an artist should be a giver. He should be a giver and a healer. So if you ain't healing and you ain't giving, and all you doing is taking, look at me. Look at what I do. Look at what I got. I mean, look, I understand everybody needs a pat on the back. But, my whole thing, I come from a generation of hip-hop that I learned a technique it's damn near like if you were a Shaolin monk and you learned from Shaolin. You know what I mean? I learned hip-hop like that. So my concept is celebrating life all the time. That's why when you come in or when we've done things, it has always been about the celebration, the enjoyment. It's never been about the look at me or look at this or look at that. And
it's just party.
Right, and that party, that celebration, that I'm happy to be right here, right now, that moment, that memory, tied to the soundtrack of your life is something that carries impact beyond people's wildest imagination. But Roland, I be going through the airport, man. I can't even get to my gate sometimes because people say, I seen you over here, and I seen you do this, and I seen this. The pilots sometimes come out, man, I was at this thing, Capital Jazz, man. It was unbelievable. I be like, because you don't even really realize how many people take that spirit of love, man.
I have my social media followers, they're like, dude, seeing you get it gives me life. Like when I was doing the alpha step, the A step in my kitchen.
Right.
I just posted 30-second video, got like 5 million views. And folks don't realize, I was just dancing. I was just getting it in.
You was just doing your norm.
I was doing what I normally do.
Right.
I'll sit here and I'll hit an A step just anywhere. I don't even need music to hit it.
I understand.
But that's the thing I tell people all the time, and somebody asked me, they said, man, why you always dancing? I said, let me tell y'all something. I said, we would have killed to hear Muhammad Ali talk his last 25 years.
That's right.
I said, but because he did all those interviews, we got newsreels, we got video. I said, but they told him to shut up then. I said, what if he had shut up? I said, so my philosophy is, as long as my stuff work, I'm going to use them. And if 30 years from now, and something happened, I can't dance, I'll be like, yo, put that YouTube video. I'm going to show y'all how I did. Because I just, to me, look, you live one time, and I do have a rule. If I go home from the party and my suit is dry, I'm pissed.
Damn. That's
but if I got to peel my suit off, we had a hell of a time. I got to peel that suit off. That's how I gauge it.
Right,
so if I'm like half sweat, I'm like, it's all right.
Right.
But if I'm drenched.
Look, and the other thing is use it or lose it. Use it or lose it. See, that's why even sometimes, like with your skill, like the way you kick it with people, talk to people, you know, I told you on some of the interviews I seen you do have been crazy, like the way you go in, because you are using that skill on a regular basis. Like the skill is not, it's not dry, it's not something that, you know, it's not in motion, like it's to me, it's healthy. So dancing and performing, that's why I do, man. I do these shows, man. I do them. I make money from them. A lot of things I do for charity purposes just because I like to see people celebrate life. And as a return to me, I'm able to survive, take care of family, do the things that I do. But I never did it for the money. That was never the goal. The goal is because I felt that was my purpose. At a time when hip-hop wasn't even popular. Nobody thought it was going to be what it is now.
Right.
Nobody knew that this thing. I remember my mother was telling me, you really want to do this? I said, Mom, I think this is what I'm supposed to do because I created something in it. I'm the first, you know, and I enjoy it. She said, if it makes you happy, then you go ahead on and do it. And it's a beautiful thing for us to be happy, do what we do. We make people happy, and we're able to survive and get a good living, you know, and you know it's good that you're doing. You know it's nothing bad or toxic, you know what I mean? You know that when people leave, they feel better than when they came.
There you go.
That's the key, brother.
Are there other folks who are doing what you're doing? Are they, I mean, do you have another crop? Do folks, it's sort of like, here's what I think. Just tell me if I'm wrong. It's like, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the greatest scorer in NBA history.
The greatest.
How is it cats are not lined up to learn the sky hook? Are young cats saying, Dougie, teach me how to do what you do?
Right.
Are they doing that?
You know, some of them secretly ask me, and I share it with them because I make sure that they know that whatever it is that you need, I want you to have it because, honestly speaking to me, Roland, I want somebody to be able to carry the baton, but at the same time, there has to be some integrity, you know, it has to be humility because the way that a lot of artists are doing it now, you know, in some ways I understand it, but there's things that have been done before you that if you incorporate these things in what you're doing now, it'll give you more longevity. And I was telling them in there, longevity comes from humility, it comes from discipline, it comes from focus. I mean, this thing is not a simple task.
No.
I mean, you know, this is like, I got kids that come to my show that's 14, 16, 18. I'm doing a tour right now to HBCUs, and kids know who I am there, and it's a whole new generation. So, and it ain't based on my record, it's based on my reputation and my spirit. So I just think that as much as they want to learn, I'm willing to teach them. But if they don't, you know, you're going to hear about it, because we ain't going to stop.
See, the reason I say that, because, look, and like I say, Lord, we've been together I don't know how many times. You ain't walking in with 30 people.
Not at all.
You got you, your voice, DJ. And I'm just simply saying, if I'm a next generation cat,
right,
I'll be saying like, hell, I can learn what Dougie doing.
Right.
I can do Dougie's stuff for 30 years. When Dougie at the house in retirement, can see it.
Finish it up. Finish it up.
I'm just trying. I mean, it's crazy.
But you know what happened too? It's like there's that humility thing. It's like you. It's like, say you could show somebody, a young cat trying to get in the game doing what you do. It has to be a certain level of humility, man. Like, I'm going
to learn the craft.
Yeah, man.
Well,
because I'm going to tell you this. What you do or what I do, people think it's easy because we make it look that way.
My wife tells me, she said, Roland, you got to stop saying it's easy.
You make it look easy.
You got to stop saying it's easy.
Right, because you make it look like that. But the person, if they trying to do what you do, it ain't going to be easy for them, bro.
But the kids, I tell them, you got to put the work in. And to me, that's the biggest thing that I tell people all the time. Don't think I ain't put the work in. I see so many cats, they want to jump on television.
Right.
And I go, okay, you can think you can do the comment. Van Jones talked about it. Van Jones said, people didn't realize in 2012, CNN made a conscious decision to take me off the air.
And we know why.
And I went to Van, I said, Van, let me tell you the real deal. The white boys have decided they're going to take me off the air. I said, and they're throwing you on the air with no training. He was getting killed. I said, I'm going to teach you how to do this.
Right.
I said, one, they ain't going to have two black men fighting each other. I know what they're doing. I said, you the only one. I said, so you got to represent black folks, and I can't have you fail.
Exactly.
So after every debate night, I would coach him. Yo, do this, camera angles, learn this. And I remember he said, man, you sit at home, you think this stuff is easy. I said, no, this is work. And that's the thing I think people miss.
A lot of work. And the other part is the love that you show, even when a time when somebody was coming at you with something completely different. And that's what this whole conference right here is about. This whole summit is about. It's like, I always say, iron sharpen iron and men sharpen men. You know, and here at this conference, black men can be honest with each other. They can show love towards each other. There don't have to be no jealousy and no envy. We can be competitive, but not in a way where we lose our moral or ethical, you know, fiber, man, to where we have to have some kind of respect for one another, and you wanted to see your brother win.
That's right.
You know, and that's something that...
What, no hate? What? Oh, man, I can't... look, I was there 6 years. I didn't sit there and like, I'm mad as hell at using him. I knew what the game was. The reality is, they made it... There was a meeting, and it was a brother, Mark Whitaker. We need another Roland... Oh, I ain't got a problem calling him out. We need another Roland Martin.
So wrong.
And the person said, we already got Roland Martin. No, we need another Roland Martin. They made a decision. They said he is not going to become a star after the 2012 election like he did in 2008. They had already made a decision they were not going to renew my contract. But they knew, had they put me on those debate nights in 2012, I was going to blow up.
Right.
And they would have had to give me a new contract.
Right.
So there was a conscious decision made. And I knew it the whole time. And I even went to him. And I said, you know I know what y'all doing. So I knew the whole time. I had no problem fronting them on that whole deal. But my deal was, y'all ain't going to have me fighting Van.
Right.
Y'all ain't going to have me fighting another brother.
Because it was like the hidden hand. It was like a divide and conquer kind of vibe that they was trying to create. And that's
why I don't get rap beefs. I don't get Nicki Minaj and Cardi B going, yo, it's space for both of y'all. Don't feed that crap.
Because a lot of people don't understand that all of this is based on control and manipulation. And there's a law, too, that people don't really understand. Usually when there's two people that are real cool and they not cool no more, there's a third person involved and you just don't know who it is.
There you go.
And you got to find that third person, because that person is that little hidden hand that's manipulating and being the puppeteer to try to control people. And you were smart enough to not let them control or destroy your relationship with Van. And that's what this whole thing is about, man. And that's why the way I learned hip-hop, I still show love. I used to train Biggie. I used to look out for Tupac. I used to train Puffy. Jay-Z brought his album to my house, Reasonable Doubt, when he first did it. I listened to the album, told him what songs. Biz used to come to my house. Eric B. and Rakim, I kept them together. Every generation there's always something that happens and we run into problems, but I've always been on the side of, you know, let's try to figure out a positive solution.
Right.
Because I could see what was going on, you know what I mean? And it's a beautiful thing to be able to be here.
Yep.
I'm going to say 2020 because I know we going into 2020, and it's a beautiful thing to be here now and to know where I came from.
Yep.
And how I'm still able to be involved. I appreciate it so much, man. I appreciate being in here with all of the
That's
different,
right.
you know, the different people that make such great contributions,
Yes,
man.
sir.
You know what I mean? We still rolling.
You know it.
Like rolling.
Well, we
like
about to go to the lounge right now. Y'all, it's been a fantastic day here. I'm glad all of you had a chance to watch today's edition of Roland Martin Unfiltered. Don't forget to support what we do. This is Black-owned, independent. We need your donation, your dollars. If 20,000 of our followers give $50 each for the whole year, $4.19 a day, that's a month, 13 cents a day. This whole thing is funded. We can travel around the country. We can broadcast in places like this, bringing you content you're not going to get on MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, ABC, CBS, NBC.
Damn.
That's how we do it, because when we black. And so go to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com, join our Bring the Funk fan club. And so I got to go. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Next week, you see more of the interviews from here. Y'all know how we do it. Holla!
Love.
Want to check out Roland Martin Unfiltered? YouTube.com/Roland S. Martin. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. It's Roland Martin Unfiltered. See that name right there? Roland Martin Unfiltered. Like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's YouTube.com/Roland S. Martin. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so when we go live, you'll know it.
Hey everybody, this is Sherry Shepherd. You're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered, and while he's doing Unfiltered, I'm practicing the wobble. Yes, I am. Because Roland Martin's the one, he will do it backwards, he will do it on the side. He messes everybody up when he gets into the wobble, because he doesn't know how to do it, so he does it backwards. And it just messes me up every single time. So I'm working on it. I got it. You got Roland Martin.
Hi, my name is LaToya Luckett, and you're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mac Wiles, and you are watching Roland Martin Unfiltered.
What's up, y'all? It's Ryan Destiny, and you're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered.
What up, Lana Well, and you are watching Roland Martin Unfiltered.
You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. It's Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Hey fam, want to check out Roland Martin Unfiltered, the blackest show on all of digital, cable, and broadcast. Check out our audio podcast. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. It's Roland Martin Unfiltered. Press play.